Anime often look to stand out amongst the crowd, but often they do so in ways that are vanilla or safe. Well, most of them do. So what happens when an anime decides to lean into its graphic and potentially polarizing themes? Well, we get something like Devilman Crybaby. Or also Chainsaw Man, I guess, but this isn't a Chainsaw Man video, so we're gonna be talking about Devilman Crybaby. Not to be confused with Devil May Cry, which prior to watching Devilman Crybaby, I consistently mixed the two up. In case it wasn't clear, this video is gonna be about Devilman Crybaby. Let's get this out of the way at the start. The art style for Devilman Crybaby is very simplistic and cartoon-esque compared to other anime. While this might be jarring or a no-go for some people, it didn't dampen my viewing experience. Actually, I think it enhanced it. The simplistic art style allows for the animation to be that much better due to the ease of animating these simple characters. And this interplay between the simple art and the at times wacky animation gives Devilman Crybaby a very distinct look and feel. This look is one that helps create the unique visuals that allow Devilman Crybaby to stand out amongst his contemporaries. The nature of this anime is one that is very graphic. I won't be able to show the scenes on screen depicting what is shown throughout the series, but I will list them. This anime showcases drug use, sex, graphic violence, porn, demons, sexual fluids, decapitation, and much more. These scenes were pretty surprising initially, but as the story progressed, it felt less shocking while never becoming something that I fully grew accustomed to. This anime finds a way to shock you with its subject matter, but not numb you to what's being depicted on screen. And the graphic nature of the show isn't really for shock value, it's to tell a story. This distinct difference in why these elements are included in this show do make a difference in how it's portrayed and how I felt while watching said show. Given the themes of humanity and violence, it makes sense to include subject matter like this, and to do so in a way that gets the point across while having the necessary impact on the viewer. With all that being said, I do think that there are some points where it felt like Devilman Crybaby was just being graphic to be edgy, or it very noticeably leaned into its shock value, so that is something to take note of. I want to acknowledge the art style and graphic nature of this series because those are probably the reasons why someone wouldn't watch this show, and it makes sense. Devilman Crybaby is unapologetically itself. Within the first episode, we see several of the graphic elements I listed, while also being introduced to this heavy stylized world. Devilman Crybaby doesn't try to lead people in with a false persona. It starts off being what it is, and it just ramps it up from there. So if any of this is unappealing to you, you probably won't like this anime, and I can't blame you. Devilman Crybaby is a very particular anime. But if none of this is a deal breaker, if none of this erases your intrigue, if in fact some of this garnered your attention, then I think you'll end up loving this anime. Because for all the prominent and idiosyncratic visual elements that exist within this series, beyond all of that exists an experience that you won't soon forget. The plot of Devilman Crybaby surprised me with how intriguing it was. I'm gonna be honest, I expected it to be a pretty run-of-the-mill or bad and rely mostly on its shock and edginess, but that's not what happens. While watching the 10 episodes of this anime, I bore witness to a story that took a look at humanity and violence in a unique way. Watching the events unfold the way they did was easy, and that's a compliment. The story had some complexities that can be explored, but it wasn't overly complex, while also having a level of depth. This counterbalance between ease of watchability and story complexity, it can be hard to navigate, and if done poorly can lead to a terrible viewing experience. But Devilman Crybaby strikes a nice balance with this. I don't think that the themes expressed in this series are revolutionary, but the lens in which they're looked at through is interesting, and it made the story that much more intriguing. That combined with a quick pace led to watch sessions that were always entertaining. With the series only being 10 episodes long, the pacing is really important, and it was handled very well. Every episode had something or some things happen that progressed the plot or fleshed out characters and their circumstances. There was never a dull moment when watching this, and I really appreciated that. With only 10 episodes, there's a lot to establish, build up, and resolve, so given that, there is no space for fluff or filler. I do want to mention that even though the pace of this anime is fast, it doesn't feel breakneck. The story finds a nice balance of getting through all the material that is laid out, while doing so in a way that's easy to watch. If nothing else, Devilman Crybaby is a fairly easy and interesting watch, and that's only bolstered by how well it utilizes its characters. The characters in Devilman Crybaby are entertaining. They're not deeply explored, but they're also effectively showcased. As the events of the story unfold, we're given a look into the various people that are being affected or will soon be affected. In this, we learn about the various characters that play a role in this narrative while getting a better understanding of the world and the themes that are being presented to us. This anime does a really good job of introducing the characters and the world, making both feel alive and responsive, and keeping the story marching forward. The characters provide differing perspectives that enhance the overall plot and circumstances that we watch while not bogging down the story with unrelated character arcs. These characters strike a balance between being effectively utilized while not taking away from the message of the story, and I found that there were particular characters that I wanted to know more about that I never got to learn more about, and I liked that. While I can appreciate a well-written, deeply explored character, I also appreciate a character being used intentionally and sparingly enough to warrant my curiosity after the story has concluded. The people that contribute to this world and this narrative added the human elements that made the emotional climaxes all the more successful. This story has a surprising amount of emotional moments. While they occurred towards the end of the story and there were only a few such moments, these moments got an emotional reaction out of me. And this is only possible due to the characters and relationships that have been established and showcased throughout the episodes. And it speaks to the quality of writing on display. I wouldn't call Devilman Crybaby an emotionally evoking story, but it might just tug on your heartstrings if you allow it. Devilman Crybaby won't appeal to everyone, and that's okay. Give it an episode if you're interested, and I think you'll quickly find out if you can sit through another 9 episodes. The themes are not particularly unique, but the presentation is something that is attention-grabbing, for better or for worse. I didn't expect to like Devilman Crybaby when I first started watching it, but as I continued on, I grew to realize how well crafted this story is, and I appreciate it for what it had to say. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have seen this anime, what'd you think of it? If you haven't seen it, do you want to watch it? Why or why not? If you watch it and come back to the video, let me know what your thoughts are. With all that being said, thank you all for watching. I have been Wheat. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate all the subscriptions I've been getting. Thank you all again. I'll catch you all in the next video.